All right, morning everyone. I think it was about 2 days ago, the season kicked up again. It kicked up with a pretty big patch as well. This is not common for PvP, so it's really quite exciting actually. They added 2 new PvP maps to the game. I'm kind of anticipating one to be like Hall of the Mists and not really affect the game very much, but this here is a conquest map. It's a totally new one. I think it's called Djinn's Dominion that I've never played before. We're going back to the 1 game a day format, or 2 games a day, and then we just pick the best one. So this is the first game I've played. I've also taken about a month off from Guild Wars. I haven't really played at all for a long time. There was also, in addition to this new map, new rewards, and they added a pass to many runes and sigils. And I think as far as PvP is concerned, the runes were updated, but the sigils weren't. So I really don't know what people are running, what's going on. I will have decayed like really heavily and stuff anyway while I haven't been playing, I think. Well, decay doesn't actually affect the real matchmaking. Anyway, this is just my first queue. There's a lot of new guys looking at PvP at the moment because there's new achievements and stuff. This is the first game I got to play, and it's going to be a weird episode coming back because this match will be me learning about the map as I go. So yeah, I didn't look at the comps or consider any of that. I notice here, by the way, I have a buff on me, which is like extra magic find or something. I can't remember. I think it's some kind of event for people to be playing PvP. I don't actually think it's map specific. But yeah, so this is the pre-game lobby. I'm running out. I'm having a little bit of a look around. We see the Sun Spear icon on that wall there. A bit like Revenge on the Capricorn. What I'm really noticing right now, first of all, is it's gorgeous, obviously, but it's very cramped. It's very closed in as well at the same time. And there's a lot of stuff like these boxes. Can we climb on these? We don't really know what we can do. The pillars were my main consideration instantly because they're good line of sight, it seems. Maybe this box here as well. Then I'm looking out and I like the look of that bridge over there. Well, there's something about PvP maps. I get it most from Spirit Watch, where because you can't explore over there, but they build the assets and stuff out anyway, it makes Tyria feel really real and alive. Like, just that barrier of being able to see but not touch means a lot to me in RPGs. And you get it so well in PvP maps, you know. I'm like, oh yeah, this feels really immersive. I feel more, this is not a joke, I feel more immersed visually, environmentally, by a lot of the PvP maps just because of these boundaries than I do by a lot of PvE. In PvE, I know I can probably go over to the bridge, and at the bridge there's like a rehash of a Renown Heart I've seen a million times or something, and it, like, I don't know, just the gamey aspects of the game kind of draw away from the rest of it. But here I'm like, oh, where am I in Alona? Anyway, so that was close. I just looked at, and we see the waterfalls, we see this fountain. We're at mid, so mid seems reasonably big. What I am going to notice as the game goes along is this map actually feels really closed in and claustrophobic and cluttered to me. I might be wrong about that. But then we get the trees, and I'm thinking, okay, is that within 900 range? Can I hit people on the node from the trees? And it looks like I will be able to, so that's nice. And then coming along here, we see some of the classic Guild Wars 1 ships. I consider trying to climb on the boxes, but then we get into the game. So here we go. I come to this gate instantly, and I realize what I'm doing is side. Which I regret right now as I stand here, and I think, I didn't necessarily want to do that. But it's not a big deal. I move on over. I'm just kind of, I'm trying to de-rust as well in terms of everything else. So I look towards where my team is. Let's play that back for a brief second. So obviously we're looking at the node, but I guess this is kind of a nice sign. I just have this much muscle memory. The first time I ever play the map, I don't even know what the lines of sight are and stuff. But I look off to the side. I can't remember what my tip-off was. Maybe I was looking at the mini-map and the fact that people are engaging. But I look to the left to see if somebody's going to aggress me. I haven't really shown in this video, but red team is like next to blue. It's like Spirit Watch, right? So I know that they're going to be coming from that side. And, well, it looks like we've got a core guard here, right? So I'm expecting him to burst me, and I'm holding in the air-earth mix with these 2 very powerful cooldowns. What I'm going to do is, as he rounds the corner, I notice he's on sword, alright? Like, he's not got the 2-handed stance, and we can even see a little bit of the blade there. So because I notice he's on swords, what he'll do is he'll pour in and drop a symbol, which I can walk out of. But what he's most likely to do after that is use the skill 3, which is actually a projectile that I can reflect. So I pop my magnetic wave first. You might expect me to use the obsidian flesh first, but I chance the magnetic wave. I'm not saying this is the right play, it's just in the moment what I dared to fiddle around and play with. I tend to find when I take a big break from the game and come back, all of a sudden I try weird stuff. So yeah, the idea is he's going to port in, and I'll go for the early reflect, and I'll take a bit of cleave. But so as soon as we think he's going to do it, I do it. That's as he hits the range threshold. But he just keeps walking. Now, I don't know if that's because he's seen me here, or it's because he doesn't know what he's doing as a bad player right now. So now I'm concerned. I throw my stun at him and do a little bit of damage, and I'm wondering whether I want to go leave and wait with Obsiflesh till like a whole cycle later, or do it now. So I'm holding in this attunement set to try and break through his defenses. He used his focus 5 and whatnot, so that I can do the Obsiflesh first, because I'm expecting some big damage. So I Obsiflesh, I swap for a Plasma Beam, I take the Arcane Wave to get the Ferocity buff for the Plasma Beam and whatnot. And I stand still, saving myself with a lot of Obsidian Flesh damage. But what you'll notice is even after I Obsifleshed, he still wasn't bursting me. What this guy's done is he's walked without really doing anything but defensives onto the node, into the very middle of the node. This is kind of like he's so perfectly in the middle. It is kind of like he's on a macro, right? Like... And now he's standing in the middle, and I'm really confused at this moment because I'm like, what is he doing? And now he starts moving, so I realize, okay, maybe he can play the game. So I can't go toe-to-toe against this build. It's such a sturdy, aggressive, high-damage build. So I get off the node for a second. He uses his elite renewed focus, so I can't hit him during that anyway, so I walk away. I realize he must be quite new, because all he cares about is being on the node here. So, none of this is ideal. You know, I'm 1v1ing, but that was my mistake back here at close. So I come back in. I am still pretty scared at this point, by the way. A judge's intervention with the hammer too could really chunk me down. I see that he gets the hammer ready. I stand back here. I line of sight myself more than anything else. The guy's just not really doing anything, and then he dies. So, you know, I did a lot of pause and a lot of discussion there for me basically bullying a new player. Even worse, he died off node, allowing me to instantly decap the point. But then I see that we've probably lost mid or something because I got a Warriors just rotated in. So now I'm kind of in a 1v2. And what the Warrior's done here is he's hit me with King of Fire as a Grandmaster trait. I was actually playing... I didn't do any games of the day on, but I was actually playing with the Tempest combo of this a while ago. Berserker doesn't get very much respect, but it's kind of fun to play a Conduit. And I don't know what people are running now that the runes have changed and stuff. I'm assuming this is King of Fires, because it came out at the end of Assault 2, which would have been his combo field, which would have given him the Fire Aura, which would have exploded afterwards. But, maybe not. Anyway, so, yeah, I dropped the FGS because I'm going to cleave the body. I see that I get an ally to assist me. So the warrior was on me that whole time, by the way, and you haven't quite seen. I mean, you can slow down the video if you like, but basically I just tried to burst him as best I can, and we exploded him. I think my trait as well that gives me a 50% arcane shields exploded on him, which helped to, you know, do a little bit more of a spike there as well. So here he could have potentially vengeance, so I just walk forward and burst him down, not giving him the opportunity.
The plaza is
it would have been a bit of a high-risk vengeance from him, honestly, because if he doesn't get the kill, he just wasted a bunch of time and lengthened his respawn timer. But he could have stopped me getting the full cap, because I really am that squishy. Anyway, so now I'm getting to mid, and look at how tight these little roads are and bumpy they are and stuff. It's kind of like forest, really, in some ways. But, I mean, this is very claustrophobic, very cluttered, and it's interesting. I wonder whether I'll end up liking that or disliking it. You're not actually going to see any reviews or opinions on this map here, guys. Anyone that comes to that after a single game, I think, is probably not thinking very closely about the game. Anyway, so I come towards mid, and I see they have actually managed to win it. So that gives us the double cap. The kind of the staggered 2v2 on place that I was a part of, plus the mid fight, which we just won. Now, what I do here as well, I don't know if this is the most efficient way, but as soon as I see that I've essentially over-rotated into mid, right? There's no point in me coming here. This is a 5-man Zerg, right, on 2 players here. I know that they're on respawn, so we can kind of do it, but it's a bad idea that I've just done. Oh, no, it's 5v3, sort of, but they were already dead. They didn't need me. So anyway, I turn around and I'm like, oh, they're probably going to look at close, and I'm just, like, looking back on the map, and I see there are 2 red players going straight back to my node. This is where we respawned earlier and came down. So I run over there using the fire greatsword. The map mechanic just triggered, and we can hear the woman speaking about that. I don't know what this is at this point in the game. We'll talk about that soon as the video goes along. So we we come back towards close, it's the same Guardian. And again, you can see he's really passive. I don't know whether he's looking. He's on hammer. He uses the ring. I'm not going to slow this down much. So you'll see here how dangerous Retail is as well, by the way. So I kind of just stand there in Obsiflesh. I don't even dodge off the node afterwards. I stay up here, and he seems to struggle to get towards me. I'm realizing he doesn't seem to have Judge's intervention, but there's his sword too, and he manages to snag me with it. I go for the Phoenix Burst, which doesn't quite finish him off, so I have to turn around, and then he dies. Honestly, you can see how hard I'm getting hit here. If I don't get the perfect dodges against that build, even someone totally new to the game can do very well. So here he's self-rezzing, and he uses his symbol. What I actually wanted to do there was Dragon's Tooth, but I satisfy myself in the end with just the Firewall, which will keep clipping him and stop him bandaging. But he is a Guardian, and you'll notice he's put himself to 70%. Not ideal, and it's kind of my mistake that he's that high. He's got reinforcements again, so my team doesn't seem to be doing very well. On the post-commentary, I see here that this warrior is just AFK on the node, so equally my team has got fairly low-tier stuff going on here. And that's why they can, this aggression is snowballing in. And what's happened here is because I took side at the start, and because I've come to side, I've been the first one and the only one to have the awareness to come back here. They're treating me as the close pointer here, even though the build is not for it. And so this is like the other nightmare scenario from accidentally rotating the wrong place at the start. Your team ends up falling into a rhythm that you know, has you in a really unideal place, and that's what you're looking at here. I'm like 1vxing back here. So now I've got a warrior, and I see he longbow 5, so I dodge. I actually probably dodged that a bit earlier, but ArenaNet needs to improve longbow 5 on warrior. It's so slow and just it's not good if you're trying to use it at any kind of range anyway. So anyway, I dodge unnecessarily. Let the warrior come in because I'm just trying to get the last tick of the cap. And now we take our burst. We know that we're going to leave. And what I'm really concerned about is the Guardian. So this warrior is better than the Guardian, because what the warrior's done is he's insta-come off the node. He doesn't care about the decap. He's going for the res because he knows that's the win condition. So he goes for the res. And then I'm going to burst him, but he uses his heal, which is damage reversal. And I walk back into his longbow primal burst, which isn't good. He blinds me, so I cleanse the blind with the auto. Then I throw my interrupt. I had a moment in the cycle earlier where I could have done it earlier, and I missed it. So now the Guardian is super high health. I know that the warrior is really squishy, and I know that the warrior doesn't have his heal skill anymore. So I can kill him. Once again, King of Fires, I think maybe, or he's used his sword too. He's put a lot of burns on me here. And now, what you'll notice is the Downstate Guardian has got his symbol back again. So I've lost this. Because, I mean, I failed several easy opportunities to kill that warrior, to interrupt that warrior earlier, to do all kinds of things. The Guardian, this Vapor is terrible. I don't know why I would vapor like this. It's really, really silly. And here I'm noticing the extra... Yeah, so it's 3% reward track progress per stack, but it's called extra life bonus. I don't know why they have that. Anyway, I get stomped out, and what I should have done is stayed on the node, forcing them to stomp me. Good players would have now let me rot there and wasted my time. I should have stayed on the node, forcing them to do it, because otherwise they can't cap. Anyway, so that guy goes off back that way. And this time on spawn, I decide not to go too close. Even though I know that there's the Guardian there, and it's a 1v1 I could potentially win. I don't go for it. And I kind of just want to explore the map a bit more. I want to go towards far, but I realize that mid is getting hit. And I walk back towards that. Then I realize, and I'm looking entirely at the minimap right now, I realize that I've got someone fighting near here. I can see that there's 2 warrior icons, I think it is. And I'm expecting, like, round this corner to see a warrior that I can fight. But I don't see what's going on. I'm like, wait, where are they? And then I turn the camera a bit more, and I'm like, where are they? I really don't understand this. I look up, because I'm like, is this like Skyhammer? There's something above me. And then I realize, oh, it must be the map mechanic. Well, here's the lamp. So, be victorious in the lamp arena. Basically, they're doing a phased thing again as far as the map's concerned, where at various intervals a new phase triggers, and you can participate in it if you like. And so I'm kind of excited about this actually, because in the raid you get to go into the lamp, and the lamp looks awesome. It's like this cool fiery labyrinth. How big's it going to be in there? Is it like a whole mirror version of this? Is that why the map is so small? Because there's like a mirror version of it while you're inside the lamp. What are we going to see when we go inside? Walk over. You notice you get the big white glow as well, showing you when it's live. Not that you really get the lines of sight on this map to see that. But so then we press F, we go inside, and what do we get? Well, we're in one of these like dome ceiling things you see so much in Path of Fire PvE. And I'm immediately struck by how small this area is. So there's a tiny node on here, and then at least I think this is a tiny node, and then there's the 1v1, which this is kind of a good situation for me. This is where I want to be. He was Endure Pain. So I came in and I want to burst this and finish this off. The fight had been going, but I immediately run into Endure Pain. I'm like, oh, well, you know, it's fair that he in this 1v1, the guy might still have a defensive cooldown up. So then Endure Pain runs out, I go for the damage, and he procs damage reversal on the Phoenix. He also dodges in his heal, which isn't any good at all, to be honest. So then I'm like, ugh, this is really annoying. Ideally, I could have just hit him, but no. They always have all their defensives up. Maybe he doesn't have all of them. Anyway, he's a berserker, so he can't chain too much more, right? We're not going to see any F2s and things. You'll notice I've been hit really hard. I think I ate a shattering blow. I think that's where this bleed has come from, and maybe a bit of the burning earlier. Anyway, so we got to kill this. Now, this isn't good. These cluttered close places, this build is not good for. I would play something like a Reaper or something that's really good at just, you know, being a meat grinder in close quarters and through walls and things. This is kind of Fresh Air Ellie's worst nightmare so far, so it doesn't seem like a great map to be playing this build on. Not that I knew before I queued in. So the guy retargets, and again, I have a point of frustration. I know my ally's low. I know he's low, but he is just standing there doing nothing now while the Berserker retargets to me. So the Berserker's thinking about the game and actually doing things, and my ally's not. Like, look at him. Look at this. It's so frustrating. And so we kill him, which is good. That was not him. We killed the enemy, but I'm super low, and I know I'm going to die. So I just stand on the node here so that my ally will revive me. But he's not even looking at the fact that I'm low. He's just standing left and right. I ping him. The risk here, by the way, there's a hammer, which is stupid. There's just low tier play everywhere. This hammer, what's this for? It does nothing. But the enemy warrior can vengeance and stomp me out. I can vapor to prevent it. But this is really bad right now, and I'm like, come on. The guy finally caps. I get the cap. The dude's vengeance, so we don't need to fight it, and we leave. And we utilized an invulnerable frame as we stood up there to avoid getting condied even further. So really, now, you might wonder, well, what was all that for? We won the map mechanic. Well, at the time, I really didn't know. The announcer said that we rose in her estimation. And, well, I guess we just have to wait and see. Once again, I go for the reflect early. This guy swaps off of sword, but uses hammer, and uses the hammer immob, which I reflect and get a 4K strike on him, I think that is. Oh, no, that was the auto. Anyway, it was pretty good. He cleanses it with smite condition and whatnot, obviously. So here he uses hammer too. And I think it's going to be a judge's intervention, so I dodge. I don't know if that was no valid path because I was on this. I'm assuming it wasn't. Anyway, so yeah, I think this guy doesn't have judges, and we can kill him fairly comfortably. So here I get a bit frustrated. I get focus forward. And it feels to me like he was behind the tree. So how did I get focus forward? I don't know, which is why I immediately turn around here. Because I'm like, was someone behind me that focus forward me? And I can't really see how. This is a warrior. I think the respawning warrior who was in the lamp earlier, maybe. And he's coming towards me. I got lots of burn on me here as well. So I'm guessing it was... Is that guy with the sword and stuff burn? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm trying to kite the warrior, who's obviously just going to run around slamming his keyboard against me. So I come behind the cart, and I'm wondering, can I jump over the cart? That's the idea right now. And I tried twice. It doesn't work, so I decide I have to leave. I lightning flash out, but he gets a really nice bull's rush on me afterwards. So there I die because I don't really understand the map geometry in any way. Here's another little frustration. As I die, look at the node. There's just two guys standing there doing nothing, watching. So, I mean, yeah. I get the rally here. I think I had a bit of assistance on that rally with the Guardian, which was obviously the play to make. I get tethered, but I've moved too far. This is server ping. This is me playing on NA, right? So this is ping that's let me get this far. I know that I'm pulled no matter what I do. He uses his sword 2 back into me, but now he's like 1v4. I don't even have to fight that. I just move. I consider going back towards close, but I don't see the reason, because we would have seen someone over here going behind the building, so I turn around. I'm curious about this as well. Can you climb on that? Don't know. So I want to go to far, man. That's our 5th kill on the new map, guys. So that's where I think I decide to go now, next. And we'll see a lot more with the map mechanic. So I think at this point, did I just notice it when I pressed B? One of the enemy teams is going to quit. So it's not a particularly great... I mean, it's a new map, so it's going to be a fun video anyway. But yeah, we eat some nasty stuff. I think I ate a headbutt or something. He does damage reversal, so I stop attacking and go for a CC instead. He's just focusing me. At least I got some good assistance this time from my ally. Oh, okay. I'm not going to rewind because we've been doing it too slowly this fight. But this fight's been really frustrating because I think when I went... There's a bug in the game where sometimes when you swap to air attunement or one of your attunements, it double attunes instead of just single. And that... ruined one of my cleanses earlier in this fight, if I remember rightly, which meant I could only get it later. So now, I've got 7 burn and I'm dead, basically. What I can do, though, is I can Obsiflesh. You'll remember earlier in the year, Invulns do stop Condi damage now, which is one of the things that started letting Hollows run away even more than they currently do. So I'm on 99 health with the Obsidian Flesh, but eventually the Obsiflesh will run out. 2 of the burns are still there. I go down, but I know I can get the stomp over here. I'm very concerned by how low health my ally is. Because, again, a Vengeance could have swung that, and that guy could have 2v1'd. But he didn't have time, so we do get the stomp. So that was quite volatile there. I come back to mid to just sort of clean this up. They'd already won it in a 3v2. The rotations aren't very good. Here I see that the mechanic comes up again. So, be victorious inside the lamp arena. I mouse over it, and it says special skill granted. So, I'm not sure if this is actually any good, because what I now realize is winning this mechanic doesn't give you points. I will see right here, live, with you guys on this post-commentary. I drop a Dragon's Tooth over the door just in case. We cap the node. We don't get any points. Now, that's like an important aspect. You would have thought ArenaNet knew that by now, wouldn't you? Like, the beasts give you points. The Sky... Well, Skyhammer doesn't give you points. Maybe I'm wrong, actually. No, maybe I'm just being arrogant and dogmatic, and that's not correct. But the fact this doesn't give you points straight away does feel a bit off to me. What it does is it gives you a skill. You'll remember, though, I never got a skill. So, special action. I never got a skill when I was doing it last time. And it seems that you only get a special action when you're in the ring. Or it's because I was in down state when it flipped before. I never got it. I don't know which yet. If this just gave everyone on my team this skill... Well, that's pretty interesting, and maybe that's worth something. But I'm not entirely sure right now if it's only people in the ring. So I got it, and we move on. So launch a missile at your target, applying Corrupted Essence. It does 20% target health damage and applies Waxing Doom, which does 20% for each stack of Corrupted Essence. So I'm reading all this as I go, looking at 1000 range. I'm just going to have to use it to see how it feels. But that stack mechanic makes me realize maybe it is going on multiple people, because otherwise how else do you stack it, or do you spam it? But it says it's got a 30-second cooldown. Does the special action go away when we use it, or do we just get the cooldown? Is that there permanently for me now until I die? Well, we have to see. I really want to use it, but I decide that I'm not needed at close. They already have 2v1. Then I realise, and it feels weird to me that we're now winning, because this has seemed really bad, to be honest, so far. And I look and I realise, yes, we are now in a 4v5, so I won't do too much detailed stuff. I realised I have a Hollow. I've not seen the Hollow all game. So the Hollow starts running from me. Now, this is some sort of open fields I can maybe do something, but I want to use the special action, right? So I Lightning Flash forwards. What I should have done is delay the Lightning Flash, and I use a skill. It's a long cast time. And he dodges, obviously. Obviously, so we don't get to see what it looks like, guys. And it does remove the special action. So why it has a 30-second cooldown, I have no idea. It's not even like that's a Guild Wars 1 thing where it could be interrupted and go on full cooldown or something. I've got no idea. Anyway, so it's a Hollow. I see he goes Forge. I stop going towards him because he's now really deadly while he's in Forge. I emobe him to keep myself in the 900 range. That messes up his Hollow Leap, which is perfect. We do enough damage to put him back into Elixir S. My ally isn't really helping in any way. But then we kill him. That holo needed to play aggressively, but he's probably bored and given up on the game because it's a 4v5. So yeah, I come back and the lamp comes up. So basically it went lamp. I had time to maybe plus close and get 1 kill, and then there's another lamp on its way. So it seems to trigger really fast. Anyway, my guy lost his 1v1. Berserker comes at me very fast, which is good. For him, obviously. I Swirling Wind so that he can't hammer on the res or anything. And now that we've done that, I come back over and we're going to try the lamp. I could plus that's behind, you know, just behind that plant. But so now I see the special skill granted is Giant Meteor. Well, this is interesting. So what the hell is a Giant Meteor going to be? Very elementally, right, guys? I mean, how many different skills are there? I don't know. Eventually, I'll talk in more definitive terms about the map, hopefully in a dedicated video when I know what all of these are. Summon a giant icy meteor at the target that does 50% damage. So I don't know what this looks like. So I'm like, all right, I'll try this out. And I press the skill. Now, because Sapping Essence was a direct targeted skill, my muscle memory, my instinct is that this will be as well. But it's not. This is ground targeted. So it cast it where my cursor is, which was coincidentally and happily sort of halfway on the node. And it wasn't even a particularly big radius. So I'm summoning Meteor here, and this guy's standing here. So I'm right now thinking I've just wasted again. But he uses GS3 into it. Look at how huge this effect is, guys. This is absolutely enormous. And I'm like, when will it trigger? Is it going to do it now? Is it going to do it now? And then he does the dodge, and it's still in the air. So it's a freaking massive dragon's tooth, basically, with a beautiful effect. I wonder if they'll repurpose or have repurposed or reused this elsewhere in the game. I can't imagine they create this effect entirely for a PvP map. I'm not sure they have the budget for that, do they? Or the team resources. Anyway, so it gets cast. And it does 9,606 damage on a non-crit. It does half of his health, 50% to whatever you're striking. Which is interesting that the devs don't want this to be a mechanic that interacts with vitality or anything in any way. But what really fascinated me here, and one of the reasons I really wanted to do Game of the Day, is check this out. When it lands, he's doing the Spellbreaker thing. He goes evade, dodge, F2. Wee-hee, I'm a Spellbreaker. He's in full counter. And I think it hits him through the full counter. I don't think it can be full countered, which I'm extremely impressed with the coding and whatnot by. If the devs thought of that, knew that that was a big part of the meta, and actually allowed that to be a thing. In several areas in PvE, it's a thing, going through full counter. So if you cannot full counter this map mechanic, then, you know, that's an asset for the map mechanic, again, which it needs because it's not directly tied to points. My first impression, anyway. So yeah, I think it did. Unless this guy procced it early, but I certainly never saw the animation roll through at all there. It fizzled out here, guys. Then I start doing my damage. So I did 50% damage with the meteor through the full counter. He's on sword shield. He should have shielded first, and then I would have had to interrupt, and then he would have been dead. But he goes for the sword 2, and we kill him. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of a dream lamp, I think. I used the benefit of the lamp. So here I'm just looking at my combat log for Giant Meteor, and you see it there. 50% of their damage, 9,000. Because I didn't even know what that hit in the moment, you know. When it appears in white as well, it's not even a crit. It can be kind of hard to tell what the impact of certain things was. And yeah, so now I'm just kind of looking around the map again, and I'm wondering what else is going on. So there you go. This is Djinn's Dominion. This is the side gate, and it feels really weird to me that this exists. Because if you look at the minimap, like, side gates are important to stop you getting spawn camped. But coming out of this puts you further away from the map objectives than the main gate, and your only escape from this little cul-de-sac, if you will, this small area we're in, your only escape, I'm waiting for me to turn is through this tiny little choke point here. How is this an anti-spawn camp mechanic, ArenaNet? Forcing them through a tiny choke that is nonetheless, but unless you can come on the left around here, but I don't think you can. And I'm assuming that that's mirrored on the other side. So, not really sure what that is. But there you go. Yassim's approval, 1 of 1. Taking it home for the Pig Iron Puddlers. And the victory screen is here at the docks, which was something else I was quite interested in. So I cannot tell you how invigorated I get by new maps coming into the game. I think it's fantastic, really exciting. I'm going to be looking at the next set of Ascended, or, you know, just PvP armor. I'll do a different discussion on that another day. Anyway, there you go, guys. Episode 1 of Season 3. This season will go right through Christmas and into the New Year's, which is kind of a terrifying prospect for me to realize that that'll be at the end of 2018 by the end of it. We'll see what we've got going. So by the time we hit that, I very much fully anticipate waking up tomorrow, doing another game, and showing you guys how it goes. Thanks very much for all the support, and I will see you all tomorrow. Catch you next time, guys. Good to see you.